Jaya bluffs Henchman Vanquish on a factions only account that is stuck on Shing Jea until it completes all of the content on Shing Jea hard mode and gets masters on both the missions. So you can see here after this, I just have Zendaijin, the mission, and I have almost beat it before, so it's possible to beat it. So let's get going. So right away, I'm probably just going to go through the Sensali area because that's going to be the hardest part of this Vanquish. The Yeti are going to be easy to kill with 6 people because this is a 6-person Vanquish. So even though it's henchmen, like 6 people is that's a lot of people. So we're going to be fine. I think I'll do an Undercity Vanquish too, even though you can't technically vanquish it. I'll still do it anyways, just for fun. I wish you could vanquish it, but you can't. So, most unfortunate. Alright, so these dudes like to ball up, but they have Whale of Doom, so while them balling up causes their own doom, they can be quite annoying. Here, let's see how this is going to play out. Right, they're balling up around him, so let's help out Lucas. Oh, now it's obstructed. Yeah, they're going to focus down Taya, so this could actually be a little annoying. Alright, Lucas is dead. I probably shouldn't be using Firestorm right now. Okay. Alright, Lucas died, that's okay. So it's going to be grinding through some of these groups. Picking off some Yeti as we go. This is a healer, so I'm just going to immediately hit him with some fire damage. Some burn. Look at that. Look at that. Surprisingly, Yun is quite good. He uses Melandru's shot, which is just a fast attack that doesn't usually inflict the damage, but if an enemy's moving, he can't cripple. So he's like, okay. So Lucas is solid, Taya is solid, Kisai is solid. I don't run the Assassin because Assassins die too fast and we know it prot, so that's just a huge liability. So unfortunately, I cannot run an Assassin hero, or a Henchman. Spoil Victor, it's nasty. It's actually quite a good ability. We'll clear these up and then just like push on through. Luckily the Yeti and the Sensali fight, so they kind of thin each other's numbers out, which is nice. So it makes it a little easier. The Yeti section won't be hurt at all though, so I'm not too worried. Oh dang, he's running fast, dude. Look at him. Look at him go. It's a fast boy. Okay, here's a clusterfuck up here. This always happens where these dudes like go to town on each other. They like fight the boss, and then these ones are just like, oh, they're joining? Oh my god. This is nuts. Here, let's do this. See if we can abuse the fact that they're stuck in this way. Or at least significantly slow down. I'm going to wait for them to pick up speed. There we go. This will thin them out. So you got to burn the birds. That's really the key here. Gotta set these birds on fire. Look at, they're focusing Yun. He's not even like useful. I mean, he is. He's single target DPS and is kind of sustainable because he has like some good armor versus elemental. But they're just like focusing Yun. They should be focusing like the healer. That was their critical mistake. All right. I'm not gonna loot most of this stuff because I'm gonna be chest running like a madman while training 3 RuneScape accounts. So I'll have opportunities to make good money in game pretty soon. So you have to kill one of these to get either one quest or just to make the one friendly. Okay, cool. Because they're considered enemies, so you have to kill one. I'll kill this Oni over here for the hell of it. I think there's 2 Oni spawns. Oh no, there's 3. There's 3 here. I'll show you where they're at. And he's dead. Okay, nice. This section will be easy, this section will be moderate. Depending on how pulls go. If I can pull correctly and get them to get, like, stuck in AoE, it should be very easy and fast. There's a red shrine here, which is nice, so be a nice little checkpoint. Yeah, look at they're going to town on each other. It's crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna hang back. Even though they're all running around like madmen. Oh, I probably should just focus on damage and just die. Yeah, I'll just do that. Alright, even though they're running around, they got CC'd in some fat damage. Which is decent. We're gonna wipe here, that's fine. A lot of them are low. Should be able to continue the fight from the shrine and kill, like, clean up a lot of this. This is two groups, though, too. And bad pulling. Lucas kind of threw me off, because, like, usually they crowd around you, but because Lucas is there... Oh, shit. Here it goes. Yeah, it's Churning Earth. Or at least Churning Earth went off, so some of them should die. Alright, Firestorm went off. Alright. So I got focused without Armor of Earth up, which is why I died so fast. Healing Breeze. Oh man. It's actually not a bad skill, but for a monk to use it, it's terrible. It's like 10 energy for just like passive regen in a game where like Chillblains is everywhere in hard mode. Like if enchants weren't like so easy to remove in PvE from these dumb enemies with Chillblains and stupid skills like this, it would be pretty good. If it also healed for like 10 health plus the regen, then it'd be quite good. Alright, let's see if we can get this going. Alright, now Lucas is tanky because of the damage output around him and then the scattering. Yeah, as long as I utilize him as a tank correctly, we should be fine. And I'm a tank too, basically. So I'm trying to lead them into this AoE. Actually, here we go. Yeah, there might be some wipes here. There's just like so many enemies. Get a bit of chaos too. Cool. We didn't wipe. We semi-wiped, which is acceptable in Henchman Vanquishing. The meta for Henchman Vanquishing is semi-wiping is acceptable, whereas in normal Vanquishing it is generally not. Alright. I could be pulling these better. I could be doing shit like this. I'm gonna have to eat a Whale of Doom though, and like wait it out. Let me use the terrain to loop them in, and then I can stop them. There we go. I might die, but hopefully it's worth it. Come on, clean these up. Clean up these birds. What do we got? energy. Energy in the 1 per second. Start flaring. They have pretty good damage output, to be honest. Like, they have assassins and shit that use, like, Desperate Strike and hit you for, like, 100 damage. So phase 1 will be Bird Hell. This is the phase. This is phase 1. We're in it. We're in Bird Hell right now, I would say. Oh, shit. My bad. I just left the dude. We have someone, Taya has hard res. I'm just like, see ya. Good luck, Asen. Cool. Alright, these will be easier. We can use the Yetis to get rid of DP. So strangely, I think vanquishing Kaining City will actually be easier than this because you have, first of all, it's party size 8. You have some options, so like in the outpost, you can actually kind of form your comp a little bit better. Honestly, I think the rest of the game should be much easier. The only areas that should be really hard would probably be like Unwaking Waters or whatever. I think that's what it's called. It's either Waking Waters or Unwaking Waters. That will be annoying. Because there's a lot of like Starburst, Salt Spray Dragons. Or no, they have Ride the Lightning and like Breath of Fire and shit, but it's still pretty dangerous. Like, you know, Ride the Lightnings and Breath of Fires can wipe teams pretty easily. So, aside from those, there's also like a bunch. There's like an Oni boss. I think there's an Ellie boss too. It's like crazy. So that'll probably be one of the hard areas. Imperial Sanctum you would think would be a hard vanquish, but with henchmen they all have the celestial skills, so it actually would be quite easy. So that one shouldn't be hard. Sun Jiang District is a hard vanquish in general. There's a high volume of enemies, but with this build I should be okay. I should be able to just burst them down quite effectively, so we'll see. But I'm curious to see what areas are the hardest. And I actually might do a video where I rank areas based on difficulty to vanquish for like all the campaigns, starting with factions. I think that could be a somewhat interesting video. Alright, let's see how effective this is. Seemingly effective. Yeah, once they start dropping, like, you start consolidating. Oh, nice. I got gusted, so it knocked them down. Gust is actually a good skill. It's not the best, but it's definitely a nice utility from a henchman. Their builds aren't terrible. Like, their builds are quite decent in most cases. Like, Lucas in particular is really shining throughout this whole thing. He's very good. He has a good build. The fact that he has a shield and he's a warrior puts him ahead. Like, just having a shield and being a warrior for hard mode just makes you take like more than half damage. Or less than half damage, rather. Alright, let's do... Gotta try to figure out where the ball's gonna be. Because these things move around a lot. Alright, that ball's getting nuked. They're about to die, those Necros. Gotta keep these in here, but they're scattering again. Melee enemies switch targets all the time, so they can be hard to predict. If it's just you, they won't. But if there's like other things to attack, they often will attack those other things. I'll grab this. So far we're starting to cleanse some DP. Seems like we're doing okay. It'd be so cool if there was like a hard mode story version of this, where like you can go through all the quests in hard mode and there's like upscaled rewards. or there were like little missions that were more interesting. Because like right now, doing quests and like the campaign in hard mode aside from missions gives you no extra benefits. Like it's just basically pointless to do it. You would just do it for your own enjoyment of the game, essentially. That being said, I might do that. Now that I just said that out loud, it kind of sounds like it'd be fun to do. Like just basically beating the game with henchmen in hard mode. And then also vanquishing it as I go. Oh, I got whaled. Dang, that's like a 5-second whale. Jesus Christ. Gotta get these AoEs out fast. Yeah, it CCs them. Very useful. Mitigates damage. Now these ones are just running around doing nothing. So, yeah, don't forget that fire magic also can CC. Alright, let's take on this boss and kill these. Seems very basic, nothing too crazy. Gonna hit him with this. Oh, he has Churning Earth? Holy shit, he has Ward too? He has Ward of Stability? Jesus. I gotta get away from things, dude. Get him, Lucas. It's all you, buddy. He's got Churning Earth and Ward of Stability. Good luck. Good luck, man. We killed him. Hooray. Oh my god, Lucas, you're amazing. He survived with like less than 1% health. And then rezzed a dude with hard res. Oh my god, what a champion. Dude, Lucas is the shit, man. Holy crap, look at him. He is Mega Alpha Chad. The ultimate warrior henchman. Dude, he fucking saved the team from wiping. Like, he survived with a sliver of health and rezzed the dude. Alright, I'll wait for... Everyone's gonna have low energy, so I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds for regens. And she's spamming heals because everyone's low, so... That's the big downside of Monk, like... Energy problems are annoying to deal with. As a player. Alright, let's see how we do here. Just throw this out, even if I get whaled, doesn't matter. Just to kind of CC them initially. Oh, here we go. They're balling up. That's good. I think I'm gonna start trying to position myself in front of things. To like kind of body block. Might as well ID these, right? And then for these, I want to do that. Easy feathers. So there's a locked chest, but I do not have a lockpick. I wasn't getting good drops anyways. Like, honestly, Shing Jea chests have some of the worst hard mode drops, so if you're going to chest run, do not do Shing Jea. The chests are hard to locate because there's so few. So few of them, and then the drops are not good anyways. A lot of them are basic skins that just frankly suck. Alright, let's get in here. Oh. There we go. I clicked on the wrong guy. Okay. I'd definitely love to see like some kind of update to the game, but it's hard to say what it should be, right? Because most of the people playing now, I would say, are like all about speed clears and shit. So it's really hard to say what would be the best thing for the game at this point in time. Because I'm kind of like a Guild Wars purist, where I like how the game functioned when it launched, and speed clears are kind of not even close to that. Like Vow of Strength, you should just scale your damage up and it was just okay, but now it like can deal 500 plus damage spikes to balls or even more damage than that, and it's absolutely nuts. And I have no idea what they're thinking with a lot of the Derv stuff, but they just made Derv super broken, seemingly on purpose. Like they gave it so many tools that are insane. Like it just feels like a lot of the reworks seem like they weren't too well thought out. But that's the game we're stuck with now, so it's whatever. But I would like to see balance updates, obviously. Which is, I don't know. I don't think it's too much to ask for. I've shipped balance updates in my own games, and it really wasn't that hard to do. Now, you don't have to balance like 100 skills at a time. You can balance like 4 or 5 here and there. Really wouldn't hurt, and it wouldn't take that much time. Like adjusting damage values or like adding attributes. Like that would not be hard to do. And a lot of players did come back for the anniversary skill update, so it's not like it would be a waste of time. Dang, they really all just like gathered in the center here. Oops. That dude died faster than anticipated, or than I anticipated. Alright, sweet. We just have, I think, one more group of Sensali up here. Or no, 2. There's this one and this one. And then the boss over here. Then just finishing up with Yeti. And maybe we can get this character to the mainland today. That'd be nice. Start doing some Kaineng City shit. Look at that damage. Another thing that like I've noticed is the adrenaline system was fine back in the day, but nowadays it sucks, right? Like the fact that a dervish can just run up to a group of enemies, like even if there's just like 3 enemies standing next to each other, hit 150 on all of them from sand shards, and then like, I don't know, like 90 damage on each of them from Vow of Strength, or however much damage it would deal times 3 in an instant is crazy. Like the game was never balanced around that, and while Dervish is cool and it can be fun to play, compared to how Warrior functions, Dervish is like a super warrior, because you can just run up to a group of enemies and just hit 3 of them and then get 3 sand shard procs and then nuke them down. Whereas a warrior has to build up adrenaline, which is not easy to do, and it drains easily, and there's a lot of skills that just kill your adrenaline. Like, you know, you lose all adrenaline for using certain skills. So there's like this weird thing where some of the classes just can nuke shit in an instant. Like, Vow of Strength is way too strong, and so is Sand Shards. Sand Shards is like an elite skill, if we're being honest. Like, it should be made into an elite skill. It's that good. It truly is. It's just so strong. I have no idea why it does as much damage as it does. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think it needs... A lot of this stuff needs reworked. I don't like nerfs, I like reworks. Like, I would prefer it that it... Like, maybe Sand Shards it can hit more times, but does way less damage. Like, maybe it does 30 damage to adjacent for each dude you hit, and it can hit like 2 or 3 more times. Like, even that would kind of help. Maybe it has a higher cooldown, shit like this. Because I think it has a 10-second cooldown, doesn't it? It's like really crazy. And then Vow of Strength is ridiculous. Just like, oh my god, you like auto attack so fast too, with like IAS. Increased attack speed for those of you who don't know the lingo. Alright, so this one, I'm just gonna nuke the healer. Very simple. Nuke the healer. Hope for the best. Throw Firestorm down on these. Alright, healer is properly cooked and nuked. kill this guy. Got Shadow Song putting in work. It is the unsung hero of this team comp, constantly blinding big physical threats. Gust. Where are my gusts at? Okay. Alright, so just now all I have to do is kill some Yeti. I don't even think there's a boss. 25 minutes, not bad. Not bad at all. A few deaths. I think one wipe. It's not bad. I knew this one would be easy, though. I wasn't expecting this to be hard. Like, people solo this. Like, I think Derv can solo farm this in hard mode. But to be fair, Derv is pretty crazy as a class. One interesting thing about Warrior, though, is it's super tanky against physical and elemental. Like, it's just so tanky. So, like, it can be honestly fun to play as a Warrior just because you're so tanky that you can just, like, get wailed on and just essentially allow your team to nuke things that are just, like, forming around you while you get, like, prodded or something. So I think that aspect of it is pretty interesting. But the fact that Derv can tank and deal damage kind of, like, kills the strategy aspect, because it's like, why would you have a tank when you can have a damage tank, like a tank that can also deal insane damage? So I would like to see, like, roles reinforced, essentially, because Guild Wars 2 has this notion of, like, everyone can do everything, and it's true. Everyone can do everything. Everything can tank, everything can deal damage, everything can heal itself, everything can apply conditions, everything can remove conditions. Not everything can strip boons necessarily, but a lot of things can. But generally, boons aren't an issue in PvE at all. So I like the idea that things have roles in Guild Wars, and I think right now Mesmer's role is kind of overstepping. It should be more of like a shutdown utility that helps with damage rather than a damage carry shutdown utility, because right now it's like overtuned. Yeah, they need to nerf its damage. That would fix it. Like, you can still, like, E-Surge I would leave alone, but I would nerf Mistrust to do like 50 armor ignoring damage. Leave Cry of Frustration and Overload alone. I would reduce the damage on Shatter Hex. Like, I would change it to do something better. Like, I would make Shatter Hex cast faster, deal like 50 armor ignoring damage, but also interrupt foes instead of hitting them for fat damage. Or maybe it just interrupts foes and that's all it does. Like, just something, and it deals like 20 damage. I would nerf its damage and give it some effect that's interesting. Or maybe it, like, transfers the hex or whatever. I guess the idea is that it shatters the hex for damage. Fine. But like 120 armor ignoring damage on nearby is ridiculous. It's like, make it like 120 chaos damage so it's armor respecting, and then that'd be fine. Because, like, it's overtuned. It's too good. It literally does more damage than Hex Eater Vortex, which is an elite skill. So that's, like, you can kind of tell it's just overtuned just by looking at it. So if they just fix stupid things like that, maybe Ellie would kind of take its place. I would fix the elemental damage thing too. Make it so that, like, destroyers are critically weak to cold damage, and make it so that things that have high resistance to one element have a weakness to another, so Ellies can actually build around the area they're in. So yeah, that's my opinion on the whole situation. As a game designer, like, I personally shipped 5 games and I balanced a few of them with updates. I've done like 4 to 5 updates for games with multiple characters that have multiple attacks and skills and abilities. Playing it at the highest level of play, having played the game for hundreds of hours. Like, you can't really get too much better than that for the games I've designed. Like, the skill ceiling is around like a couple hundred hours. But right now, Guild Wars is not balanced around anything. Like, it's just kind of like, it's vaguely balanced. Like, the skills are kind of ish balanced. Like, Flare is so good now that it strikes adjacent with Overcast that it just outshines Lava Arrows outright, whereas before, Lava Arrows was just better because it could hit multiple things and did the same damage and virtually has no cooldown, because its cooldown is 2 seconds. So there's, like, all these little dumb things that could be adjusted. Like, I would make Lava Arrows hit like 5 or 7 targets or something, and that would make it pretty good. And they can all hit nearby or something. Or maybe it's just a spell that hits nearby, of like for damage. Like it doesn't have to link to different targets. But like a bunch of lava arrows shoot and like fill in like a nearby radius or something. Flare used to be like terrible when it didn't hit adjacent. It was like okay, but lava arrows was always better before they buffed it. Kind of want to experiment with no exhaustion builds that I use lava arrows in. I'll try that actually in the next thing, just for the hell of it, just see how it goes. Maybe like double dragon. Well, I'd have to drop earth in this case, but maybe like double dragon and I don't know. Because like Bed of Coal's meteor is so strong, to just run Bed of Coal's seems stupid, like a waste. We're almost done with this one. Just a few more Yetis in this area, and then we're good to go. Vile Touch. There's all these weird skills like Vile Touch. Like, I don't understand why they exist. I think the intention was that like enemy physical runs up to you and then you use it on them, rather than like you run up to the physical and nuke it with like some armored weird skill. I think that was the intention of these skills. Like Inferno, I think the purpose of Inferno was to try to burst down warriors that run up to you. Same thing with like Flame Burst. I don't think they intended on Ellie running up to groups of enemies and flame bursting them. But then when they added Assassin and PvE skills, you could do these things and be crazy. And of course, like Prot and Mitigation allow you to be quite an insane person when playing this game. Like, I Am Unstoppable is like an elite skill that you can just use. Plus 24 armor, Shout, do not get knocked down for like 20 seconds or something. It's like really ridiculous. It can't be removed. It's literally better than elite skills. Like, name an elite skill, Stance or something that gives you plus 24 armor. There isn't one. And that also prevents KD. There's like Steady Stance, but it's not even close to as good as I Am Unstoppable. And it's an elite skill. Just hit him with a meteor. Actually, no. He should die. Cool. I know for a fact I'm not the only player who stopped this, but I've always wanted to go down here to this area. It just looks like a place you should be able to go to, which is good environmental design. And I think if you zoom in down there, there's like pigs doing some strange things. But it's like, yeah, they always have done a good job with the areas in this game. I remember one dude was talking shit on me on Reddit, saying that he was like clicking on skill interrupts or something, and I was like, what? I'm like, dude, I play RuneScape. Like, you literally, when you go PKing, you have to click on prayers and items and shit. Like, what's wrong with clicking on things? There's definitely some elitism in the community of this game. Not like a lot, but it's there. There's like speed players that think they're like hot shit, but it's like, I don't know. I don't like having an ego about things. I think it just makes it hard to have good conversations with people when you have like a high opinion of yourself. But aside from that, we did it, boys. Jaya Bluffs is completed. We have one more challenge before us, Zen Daijin hard mode. The mission itself is not super hard, but the final boss is, so I think I will need to bring Prot and be like a spot protter kind of dude. Because even using this whole burst on the boss, they have a ton of health, and we have to just outlast them. So I'm going to have to really consider what will work for that. But definitely Leave a like and a comment and sub if you haven't already. I'm going to be making more Guild Wars stuff like this. I'm going to do all of Cantha Vanquish with this character and Henchman. Once I get to the mainland, obviously I'll upgrade to max armor. Right now I have 45 armor, so I'm forced to run like Armor of Earth unless I want to just get like, one-shotted constantly. So yeah, thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one.